Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Gag Is podcast. I am your girl, Charlie Shante. One day I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna have it all the way together, y'all. I promise you I am. But yes, welcome back to another episode of the Gag Is podcast. Thank you for joining me on this new episode. Happy Friday to you. Oh man, y'all see I got a lot of energy today. Because like I've been resting, so we're gonna jump like right into what it is we got going on. This is gonna be a doozy. It's gonna be a two-parter. So this week and next week, and then how we do it. So we are concluding summer, and I talked about this last week, but I think I want to go a little bit more deeper into the summer, some of the things that we did, some of the things that we didn't do. My thoughts about the upcoming school year, different things like that. So if you have not already, go ahead and grab your snack, grab your drink. I got mine right here, so let me go ahead and take a little sip so my mouth doesn't get dry. Um, mm, and we do that thing like that. So grab whatever you need to grab. Let's get into it. Don't I look darker? Because your girl been in the sun. Fun in the sun. I have been I have been somewhere every other weekend since the second to last weekend in May. I've been on plane, trains, automobiles, and cruise ships. Okay. Um, just got off a cruise a couple days ago. So that's why I got the tan feature. If you're not following my personal page on Instagram, smartfit_okie, then you missed a good time on the stories because I was doing it up. But like I said last week, as y'all know, I was sick. And so every time it was time for me to record, I was sick. And so I missed it. So I just ended up taking the summer to kind of just, relax and reset and, just get things in order. But in the meantime of trying to do that, I kind of overdid it a little bit. So this week, we're just going to talk about, the summer and, self-care for yourself. Then next week we'll get into, um, you know, open houses this week. And so that's something in itself. And then we'll start, flowing as the kids get back, to school. So like I said, I've been traveling and, since I took a little quote unquote little break from the pod, I just been traveling and just being in my happy girl era, every time I get tired, I always tell myself, I'm like, I pray for days like these. I pray for days where I could just wake up and I can go travel. I can go travel with my kids. I can go travel with my family. So I can't complain. I can, but I shouldn't complain about the things that we've been able to do this summer. And normally I always build my summer around my kids, but this summer, I built it around me. I took some time for me. I did the things that I wanted to do, the things that would make me happy. I went places, I seen people, just the things that make me happy. Not saying that I didn't want to be around my kids, but it had been so long that I have done something for me. And I was being happy that I was like, you know what? While I have this free time, I need to take this time and do something for me. I'm like, we have the family cruise coming up. So, you'll be able to spend time with your kids then, but you got to take time for yourself. And I, y'all, I out partied myself and a time was had. Okay. Like I went to Cali, I went to Texas, and something interesting happened. I keep it all the way 100 with y'all. Something interesting happened while I was out there having my personal me time. If y'all remember back in, I think it was March or April, I celebrated 1 year sobriety. And as I was up front with y'all, I said that I didn't know how long it was going to last or, what the end goal was. But I decided to have a drink. And for a long time, I beat myself up. I was like, oh my God, like you were so sober and, you had a drink. And I was talking to my best friend. She was like, girl, she's like, it's a drink. She's like, it's not the end of the world. And then I had to remember that the reason why I stopped drinking was not because I had a problem. It was just, I woke up one morning, I was just like, I'm not going to drink anymore. Um, and so I had a drink and, you know, I didn't feel any way about it. I tell you one thing though, I tell you it hit different. Cause after and I only had a glass of wine, and after I had that glass of wine, I wasn't driving. I was in a car. I was like, ooh. I was like, this hit different, cause, but so yeah, so that happened over the summer, and then once I got over, my feelings of that, I was like, you know what, let's turn this thing up a notch. Um, I ended up taking the kid to Comic-Con. And this was a surprise trip for LJ. LJ didn't know about it. I've been planning it for the last 10 months and it finally came. So we went to Cali and we literally left on a Friday evening and came back on a Sunday evening. 10 out of 10 don't recommend. Because 2 days after that, two and a half days after that, we ended up going and getting on a cruise in Florida. So I've gone from Florida to California, back to Florida in a matter of 48 hours, and then getting on a cruise ship. And I don't recommend. Like, we took a red eye, and I don't recommend. If it, like, I was just trying to, I don't know what I was trying to do. I don't know what I was trying to do, y'all. I was doing too much. That's what I was doing. But we had a amazing time, and each time I was doing something, I'm like, you're putting you first, Charlotte. It's about time that you put you first. It's about time you started doing stuff for you. And like I said, a couple days ago, we just got off the cruise. So I'm tired. I'm very tired. We got, or we had, we got Meet the Teacher coming up. And this is going to be interesting because New Face is starting high school and he's the baby. And, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but that'll be, and we'll talk about that in next week. But for this week, let's talk about these vacations. OMG, y'all, let me tell y'all, I'm so glad that I'm independent and I can just talk to y'all how I want to talk to y'all, and y'all are going to, y'all understand the transparency. I keep it real with you. There's never no fluff when it comes to me. So let me tell y'all. So we went on this cruise and I went with my family, right? And I went with my best friend too, because I was like, unfortunately, my mama didn't get to make it, so my best friend took her spot. And I was like, this finna be something. This finna be a movie. And a movie is exactly what it was. I do not recommend, if you take a hiatus from drinking, I don't recommend that you start with hard liquor. It don't work for you. I just came out the gate, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. When I was in Cali, I was eating breakfast with my cousin, and they had espresso martinis, and I was like, I need to see what all the hype is about these espresso martinis. And I got one espresso martini, and when I tell you it sent me, I was like, oh my God, I got a new drink. I have a new drink, and I don't want nothing else to drink. And so on the cruise, the first day, as soon as we got on the cruise, I was like, let me get some Patron. Now, I don't know why I thought when I got on this cruise, they was going to have 1942. Not sure why I thought that. I was like, y'all got 42? He was like, we got Patron. I was like, ain't quite my choice, but I'll take it. Ship hadn't even left the port yet. Okay. And I was going off that Patron. So I was like, all right, this is cool. But I was drinking water because it was hot. Like the devil was like, what's up, girl? And I was like, hey, it was hot. So we go through and we stumble upon this pizza because I was like, oh, I'm a little hungry. And I was like, hey, Nick, I was like, let's get some pizza. Tell you what, that pizza had me, had us both in a chokehold the entire cruise. Okay. The entire cruise. Like, this ain't no, oh, I'm just going to eat this pizza because I'm drunk. No, this was some pizza for your ass. I say all the time that pizza had something in it. And I don't want to say what the connotation that I use because I don't want y'all to report me talking about, I'm talking about drug use and stuff. I don't know what this pizza had in it, but this pizza was bomb.com. And so the next day we went to the Bahamas and got off. Tell you what, take me home when I get like this. Nick understood the assignment. Cause we was like, all right, when we get to the beach, we gonna take some shots. So we took some shots of Patron. And if you're new here, I have a citrus allergy, so I can't take no lime. And then they use lime salt sometimes. So I had a shot of Patron with no lime and no salt. So just straight gangster. And it wasn't chilled Patron. It was just straight hot Patron. And it was like 90 degrees outside. I had little beads, sweat on my forehead. But I was like, we gonna take this shot. And when I tell you, I took that shot, and it wasn't even a shot, y'all, because he was freehand pouring. That was like a shot and a half, close to a double shot. And when I tell you, I took this shot and I started doing the Harlem Shake because, baby, that shot was hot. I ain't had nothing to chase it with. I got me an Angry Orchard. I chased it with that, and I was like, okay, boom, cool. So we go about our day. It is raining. We sitting under an umbrella watching it rain in our swimsuit. Patron still ain't kicked in yet. And I was like, oh, I am good. Your girl is good. Like, I still got it. Time go on. We get back to the ship. We go eat dinner. And I was like, I'm going to give me espresso martini. So let's calculate that. That's one shot of Patron, one Angry Orchard. Okay, for this particular day. So I gave me espresso martini and I was like, oh my God, it's so good. Are you supposed to eat the coffee beans? I eat the coffee beans because what? I want to experience the entire drink. And in my mind, I was like, well, if I eat the coffee beans, it'll soak up the alcohol. I don't think that's how it worked, but in my mind, that's how it worked. So then there I was. For reference, y'all ask Nick, anytime I start a story and I say, so there I was, just understand it's about to be some foolishness that occurs within this story. So we both order espresso martinis. You have to come watch this on YouTube because I'm going to insert some clips and y'all will see. We both got espresso martinis and I'm just like, just drinking my last. Oh, this is so good. And so Nick didn't end up drinking hers. She's like, girl, finish it. Not a problem. So then we was like, oh, we're going to go do karaoke. And I was like, cool. We had to walk from where we was eating through the casino, through a bar to get to where we was going. Oh, excuse me. Can I get espresso martini? Sure, ma'am. So let's tally this up. That's one shot of Patron, one Angry Orchard, 3 espresso martinis. I'm like, I am good. So I ended up doing karaoke that night and I ended up singing Waterfalls. And I feel like that's the only way I did karaoke because had I been sober, I don't think I would have did karaoke. And my cousin ended up doing karaoke too. And we were sitting by this lady. And so when we come back, the lady was like, y'all are cheaters. We were like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, your family can just sing. What? This is karaoke. I didn't know that there was a cash prize. Like, how do you cheat in karaoke? Somebody tell me, how do you cheat in karaoke? So she was like, y'all are cheaters. And I was like, ma'am, goodbye. I can't say exactly what this is a friendly podcast, so I can't really say what it was that I really said to her. But I was like, okay. And so we ended up leaving the show. And guess where we went? Nick, you wanna go get some pizza? I'm telling y'all, this pizza was addictive. And I'm talking about every time we went, it was nothing less than 2 slices at a time. It was between 2 and 4 slices each time we went. The pounds that I gained are justified. I just got to work on a strategy to unbig my back now. Cause a time was had. So that brings us to the next morning. And I'm feeling, I'm feeling sauced up. And I was like, all right, cool. We're going to go eat some breakfast. I'm going to sober up a little bit. I done found this Tylenol Motrin combo pill. So I was like, I'm going to take 2 of these right here. I said, I'm going to be good. So I took 2 of those. I was like, I'm put some food on my stomach. Oh, I forgot. So the day that we went to the Bahamas for breakfast, I had a mimosa. So now let's go back and tally it up. A mimosa, a shot of Patron, an Angry Orchard, and 3 espresso martini. Oh yeah, I was drunk. Definitely. Now that I think about it, I was drunk. Feeling good. So anyway, we go to breakfast and I was like, I'm drinking water. I don't want no juice. I don't want no coffee. I need some water. So I eat breakfast and I'm like, Nick, I gotta go back to the room. Like, I am fucked up. Like, I gotta go back to the room. So I have been watching the Olympics since, it was Olympic time. And I was like, support the Olympics. And, it was gymnast weekend. So I thought I was in a gymnast in our hallway. And again, you'll have to watch on YouTube because while I'm talking, I'm going to insert the clip of me thinking that I was a gymnast. And I decided that I was going to do a cartwheel and flip in the hallway. But I didn't realize that, I'm not short, but I'm not super tall. But I realized for my stature and the length of my arms and legs, I wasn't going to be able to clear the ceiling, which resulted in me falling. And I think I need a new hip. I don't know if it need to get stretched out. I don't need to get rubbed out. I don't know what happened, but I feel like I probably need a new hip. But I was like, at this point, Nick, take me home when I get like this. Please take me home when I get like this. And so she was like, I'm gonna use the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And so you ever been drunk and you like, or hungover and you like, if I just lay down, I'll be okay. When I tell y'all I was face down on the bed, and when I tell you Nick is a real one because she took the spare blanket from under the bed and just covered me up. And when I tell y'all I was asleep for about 4 hours, 4 good hours. Like, only reason why I woke up because LJ came knocking on the door. He's like, you ready for sushi? I done forgot. I told the baby I was going to take him to get some dang on sushi. And he's like, it's 1 o'clock. You said sushi at 1. I said, that's today. He's like, yeah. I said, oh. I said, well, can I take a rain check? He's like, it's cool. He said, I got plans anyway. Okay, pimping. So this whole entire cruise, I ain't see LJ. Like, I ran into him in the hall one day. Now, mind you, his room was next door to mine. But I ran into Buddy coming back to the room. I was like, what's up, boy? Like I ain't seen him and like he wasn't my child. And he's like, nothing. He's like, just running the hallways with my new group of friends. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, that's what's up. Like, and like I would see him, like I seen him in the pizza shop one day, but he didn't see me. He was with his group of friends, his little cruise friends, and I didn't. I was like, Nick was like, don't say nothing to him. I was like, I ain't. I was like, if he say something to me, then whatever. But I think for we had 2 days left on the cruise, and I think I had one drink in between the 2 days. Like I was pounding water. Nick had bought some the liquid IVs, but again, I have a citrus allergy. But so she bought the lemon lime kind, so I couldn't have that. So then she's like, "Oh, I got this hangover stuff. The hangover stuff is lemon. Oh, can't have that." So I had to tough it out with Tylenol motions and some regular water. But she a real one though, because my girl was ready, but I wasn't ready. And, you know, I said all that to say this. Sometimes you got to stop and you got to let loose. Many times we end up being so reserved because that's the image that everybody sees of us, that we're so reserved and, we're so well put together. But you never know what people are going through on the back end, like up until and still going on. I mean, since last year, I've had like a lingering issue um situation going on, and it's just been, sometimes it gets a little draining. And you know I got so wrapped up in it that I wasn't taking time for myself. Like, it's okay to take time for yourself, and it's okay to put your energy into a situation, because if you don't take care of yourself, then how can you put energy um into a situation? And so I posted a few clips of me from the cruise. And to know me is just to know that nothing in the clips that I posted is outside of my norm. Like, that's not how I act every day. And you know you just have to know that I'm a fun individual person and I mean no harm. I don't drink all the time. I would just own a ship for 5 days and just had fun. And it was just something I needed, because I needed to release everything that I had been going through and still going through. It was just becoming like over and over and over, like just day in and day out. And I didn't have clarity anymore. And so when I came back off that cruise, I had so much clarity. And, on a few little clips that I did post, it was like, oh my gosh, like, why are you like this? And I posted the clip of me taking a shot and me making a face. And somebody's like, oh my God, if I wouldn't want to drink something that will make my face turn up like that. And I just be like, damn, like, are y'all miserable or something? Like, why? Like, I don't get it. Like I said, to know me is um just to know that I'm just a ball of fun and I don't mean any harm to anybody, and I'm just naturally funny. That's just who I am as a person. I was with my family, I was with my best friend, I was with my kids. So I was safe. I was good. I was just living my best life. But when I got off the ship, I was able to have a lot of clarity on a lot of things. And so I said, from now on, I'm going to have to start prioritizing me, because if I don't prioritize me, how can I be good for somebody else? I mean, it just doesn't happen like that. You got to take time for you, and take time for you in the aspect that is suitable for you, not a diminished or minimized, you know, just to still be in a moment, something where you can like totally unplug and be just who you are in your element. Now, granted, oh my gosh, whew, tired is an understatement. And because I had been going back to back to back, like 3 weekends in a row, and finally, the other day, I slept for 10 hours because my body just gave out, because I was just running, 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 that I wasn't even giving my body enough time to, like relax and recover. So this week I promised Nick that I wouldn't do anything this week. I ended up sleeping 10 hours the other day, and I didn't eat dinner or anything. And poor New Face thought something was wrong with me. I was just like, I'm just so tired that I cannot wake up. And then I'm anemic on top of that. So that made it even worse. Um, but you got to take time for you. When you take time for you, you got to make sure you build rest in there. So I'm I'm on quote unquote bed rest um, for a few more days. And then we're gonna pick it back up. And it's just been giving me time to hydrate and just get some rest and different stuff like that. Like, I'm still doing little tasks like laundry and cooking and bathing and just the normal little stuff. But I'm not outside. It's just I'm just keeping it kosher. keeping it kosher. Keeping it kosher for, um, and just regathering myself. I have a lot of stuff coming up, so I definitely need rest. And shoot, after I record this, I probably finna go take me a nap. But yeah, so let's see what we looking like as far as time. Oh, okay, I'm good on time. Um, so yeah, so you know what? I'm gonna make next week a separate episode. I'm not gonna make this part two. Part 1 and 2. This will just be its own standalone episode because yeah, y'all get that fresh new content. But yeah, so um let me see for you can't make this up. OMG. Me and Nick were getting we had went to breakfast. It was the morning that we were getting off the cruise and we were decided to go get breakfast. And we were walking back and Nick was like, "Girl, the sheriff behind us, the police behind us." And I was like, "What you mean?" And I looked and she's like, "The sheriff, like the land police." And I was like, "The land police?" I'm like, "Girl, what?" So I turned around. Sure enough, it was a cruise police and 2 Miami-Dade sheriffs. And I was like, "Oh shit." So I kept walking. And so I was like, "Let me slide over to the side so y'all can pass." And I was like, "No, you good." They was like, "Are we going right here?" And I was like, "Oh, snap." So me and Nick trying to be nosy. And like, that's all you hear is knock, 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 knock. And then the people got up and opened the door and they pushed that door open. They were like, "Miami-Dade sheriff." I was like, "Oh, snap." I don't know what these people did. They ended up they wasn't in handcuffs, so I don't know what they did. I don't know if they got like a court date to appear or something like that. Don't let me lie to you. Um, I don't know what happened. And then the first or second night on the cruise, I think it might have been the second night, a mom and her kid got jammed up. I don't know what happened, but I want to know, what are you doing on a cruise ship to get in trouble, to get the police involved, to where you gotta, because when you get in trouble on a cruise ship and you're not in the port, that is federal. That's serious. So I just need to know, what y'all out here doing on these cruise ships to where y'all, like, I've been seeing so many people and so many stories about people getting kicked off cruise ships and different stuff like that. Like, how hard is it just to follow like the rules? Like, you've paid thousands of dollars to be on this thing, to have fun with strangers and family and friends and stuff. And then you do like some BS to get kicked off or to have a police at your door. Like, why would you do that? But, um, yeah. Mm. It's just crazy. But yeah, so that's all I got for y'all this week. Remember, if you are not already, please make sure that you are turn on your notifications for your Apple, your Spotify, so when a new episode is released, you get that notification. Also, make sure you're following us on Instagram at the Gag Is Pod. Follow my personal Instagram at smartfit_okie. And last but not least, please make sure after you listen to this, you go over to YouTube and you check out the visual, because I always add a little extra stuff in with the visuals that you can't get with the audio version. Now, for the song lyric of the week, we got Doja Cat, "Get Into It." So yeah, that's your song lyric of the week. And remember, I am your girl, Charlie Shantae. This is the Gag Is Podcast. Bye.